A Special Christmas, written by Blue Moon Hero, read by Swish Diablo. One afternoon, Sunset and her friends had gathered at Sugar Cube Cafe after school had ended for the day. They had a week left until the winter holidays, and everyone was so eager to get some time off from school. All of the girls had gathered to talk about where to celebrate Christmas this year. But in the middle of the conversation, Applejack watched Sunset sitting and drinking hot chocolate. Are you going to Equestria this year to celebrate with Princess Twilight? Asked Applejack. No, she's off to celebrate with her family, so I choose to stay here. You can choose to celebrate with us, said Rainbow. Well, if you want, said Fluttershy. Is it probably going to be your second Christmas this world, isn't it? Asked Rarity. Sunset was silent for a brief moment, looking at the friends with a smile. Well, it is my second Christmas here, but I choose to stay with tonight and celebrate with my best friends. Everyone smiled and started talking about what they would do on that Christmas. But Sunset asked, but where are we going to celebrate this year? Everyone looked at each other and realized they had even talked about where to celebrate this year. Since they were with Applejack's family last year, they had no idea where to celebrate. We can draw a note where we're going to celebrate, said Applejack. That sounds like a good idea and fair suggestion, said Twilight. We can write down a person's name on an and put it in my hat so Fluttershy can take a note, said Sunset. That sounds fair, said Applejack. Everyone wrote a note, stuffed it in Sunset's hat, which she shook to shuffle around the notes. After that, she held out the hat to Fluttershy, who nervously took a note and opened it. Whose name is it on the note? Rainbow asked. Rarity, said Fluttershy. They looked at Rarity, smiling at them. It sounds like a good choice, and it was a fair suggestion, so said Rarity. Everyone agreed it was a fair choice, and they chose to meet at Rarity on Christmas Day to help to spend time with the family. After at the cafe, it was time for them to go home to plan for their Christmas party at Rarity on Christmas Day. Back at Twilight's home, Shining Armor and his wife Cadence were visiting with her niece Flurry Heart. She loved spending time with the family. Cadence and Shining Armor had invited their family to celebrate Christmas with them in this year, but Twilight mentioned that she had already planned to celebrate Christmas with her friends at Rarity's as a tradition. Her family was okay with that. Her father Nightlight and her mother Twilight Velvet hoped that they would have a good Christmas at Rarity. Meanwhile, Applejack had told the Grandsmith and Grandpere that he was going to celebrate Christmas with Rarity and her friends. They were okay with that since Big Macintosh had invited his wife Sugar Belle to celebrate them with them. Apple Bloom has been looking forward to Christmas. Rarity had also told her family that her friends would celebrate their traditional Christmas with them this year. Sweetie Belle had hoped that she could help Rarity with the order before the day arrived to Christmas, and Rarity didn't mind. It is going to be a nice Christmas with your friends here, said Hondo Flanks, her father. Will be a Christmas to remember for a long time, said Cookie Crumbles. Yes, I can't wait until then, said Rarity. Like the others, Fluttershy and Pinkie had told the families they would be at Rarity's this year to celebrate for their own traditional Christmas. The next day at school, the girls was eager for the Christmas day, and at lunch they sat and talked about what to do at the party. It will be a nice, and the school is over soon, said Applejack. I agree with you, said Rainbow. I look forward to the celebration since this will be my first Christmas with you, said Twilight. Darling, you will like what we have. We have had so much fun, said Rarity. Is Fluttershy okay? Asked Rainbow. Everyone was well silent and looked at Fluttershy, and they realized she hadn't said a word at all the time when they sat down. My parents want me to invite my brother to the celebration. Now you're kidding us, said Rainbow. And Rainbow started laughing a bit, but she looked at Fluttershy, who didn't laugh back or realize she meant it. Are you serious about taking with us? Asked Rainbow. Yeah, I think it would be fun for them. I don't mind if he is with us, said Applejack. I don't either, said Rarity. More on Christmas Day just get more fun, said the Pinky. Okay, he can come too, said Rainbow. Thank you, Rainbow. You're great, said Fluttershy. After school was over, the girls went home to complete the summer school assignments before the winter holidays began. Later in the afternoon, Sansa was waiting for her boyfriend Flash Century. They have been dating for a couple of months now, and they loved each other so deeply again. Sorry if I'm a little late, said Flash. It doesn't matter, you're here now, said Sunset. Sansa gave Flash a kiss and he kissed her back. They had chosen to spend some time together walking in a park near her home. I heard you weren't celebrating your Christmas with your friends this year. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I can see that. Flash smiled and she smiled back to him. They walked around at the park, but they started to feel frozen, so they chose to go to a cafe to drink some hot chocolate. It's a shame that we can't meet before Christmas since I'm celebrating with some relatives in nearby town. It doesn't matter, we can spend some time after school on the last day. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, said Flash. Both stayed at the cafe for a while before they had to go back to Flash's car, and he drove her home. That night, Sunset was in bed thinking about the Christmas party. Would it be like? And before she knew it, she would have spent a nice time with her friends. The next day, the girls met at Twilight's locker to talk about whatever they want to do a present for their friends. Applejack said, I have already got my present for my sweetheart Twilight. It made Twilight blush, and by leaning forward to give Applejack a kiss on the cheek, Applejack and Twilight have been together for 6 months. I got one thing for Rarity because I love her so much, said Pinky. My sweet little pie, you are so cute, said Rarity. I always want you to smile, said Pinky. During lunch, Rainbow and Fluttershy sat and talked to others who had all been eating. Fluttershy was a bit curious to know why Rainbow asked her for her brother to be invited. Rainbow, was I wrong when I invite my brother to the Christmas party? No, but promise don't tell anyone. I promise. Rainbow sighed for a few seconds and looked around to see if anyone was nearby to hear them. She turned to Fluttershy and whispered to her, I'm in love with your brother, okay? Wow, did you tell him that? No, I haven't told him, or I don't know if I should do it, said Rainbow. Maybe you can't tell him. I don't know how. You're brave, you can handle it. Rainbow realized that Fluttershy had a point. Since Fluttershy was with Bulk Bicep, and it was he who asked her out on a date. Rainbow was with her that day, and she could see that Fluttershy was nervous, but she said yes and going out with him. Rainbow was a little bit surprised to do so. I'll probably try, but I cannot promise if I do on Christmas Day. It is okay if you're not. Rainbow smiled at Fluttershy and both enjoyed the lunch. Then It came the last day of school before the winter holidays began. All the students were so eager to have their winter vacation. When the school bell rang, Flash was standing by his car through the sunset. They would spend the afternoon together before he leaving the town to celebrate Christmas with his relatives in a nearby town. He and Sunset spent the afternoon going to a cafe to eat something together. I will miss you when I leave. I will miss you too. But I'm going back here before New Year's Eve. It sounds like good to know. I was going to give you your early gift for Christmas. Flash gave her a small package, and she opened it and saw it was a necklace with a heart. She saw it could be opened, and she saw a picture of them both. She looked at Flash with tears in her eyes. I thought I wanted to give you something special. Flash, you know how to make me happy. She leaned forward and gave him a kiss, and he kissed her back. They spent 2 hours at the cafe before it was time for Flash to go home. He drove Sunset home and they gave each other a hug before he left. There was only a few days left until Christmas, and the girls helped the families to get ready for Christmas Day. Then the day came when the girls would meet at Rarity. Everyone's met up there. Even though Pinky arrived the last time, she got on left from the Rarity's home by her sister Maud. Some strong winds blew outside when she arrived to Rarity's home. Pinky, glad you could came, said Rarity. I will never miss the Christmas Day with you, said Pinky. Pinky gave Rarity a kiss and she kissed her back. They went to the living room where their friends sat and drank some hot chocolate. Pinky put her Christmas gift under the Christmas tree and sat down with her friends and drank some hot chocolate. They sat and talked. Sweetie Bella sat to play cards with her mother, Cookie Crumbles. Pinky brought even a bag of candy that she had with her. I brought homemade candy that I made with my sister Limestone, Marble, Maud, and even my course, my parents, Cloudy Course and Ignis Rock. Your family always makes a good homemade candy, said Verity. Her family really makes good homemade candy, said Applejack. The girl ate some of the candy while sitting and talking. Rarity's dad was watching some TV when he saw the weather report and was a little surprised. There will apparently be a heavy snowstorm tonight. We can hope we don't lose power. We will probably snowed in by the storm, said Sweetie Belle. Sweetie Belle was afraid if they would be snowed in by the snowstorm. Her mother hugged her. Don't worry, everything will be for a while. The girls began to be afraid of being snowed in by the storm, but they tried to stay calm, and at noon they all sat and ate a little food and had a good time. After dinner, everyone sat in the living room to take it easy before opening their presents. But when it was getting time ready to open the presents, and later to watch some Christmas movies, 3 hours later, the power went out, and the living room became dark. The girls and Sweetie Belle got scared and held each other since it was pitch black. Don't worry, I'm going to check the fuse box, said Hondo Franks. Riley's dad went to the basement to see if the power could not come back. He looked at the window of the kitchen. When he came up again, saw the whole street was black. It seems like the whole street is without electricity. Not much we can do yet, just wait until they come back, said Hondo Flanks. But what about the presents? Said Sweetie Belle. We can still open them, said Sunset. Dad, you might then not start the fireplace, said Rarity. Hondo Flanks says, that sounds like a good idea. Her dad managed to cat start a fire in the fireplace, and soon the room was lit again. Now let's open our Christmas gifts. Agreed, said Fluttershy. Soon they started handing out the Christmas presents, and they opened the gifts. Cookie Crumbles came with a tray with of apple pie and hot chocolate for everyone. Twilight and Applejack sat on a couch cuddled together while Pinky and Rarity sat next on the fireplace to enjoy each other's company. Rainbow sits alone when she sees that Sapphire is sitting up by the Christmas tree alone, and she approached him. Are you having a good time celebrating Christmas here? Well, I have a nice and Christmas to remember, that's for sure, said Rainbow. Rainbow sat down next to him and was silent, looking at the fireplace. I know you have been interested in me for a while. That's right. But just didn't dare admit it. I know how it feels like. I feel exactly for you too. Sophia looked at and Rainbow with a surprised look and realized that she wasn't even joking. Because he could see that she meant it. Dash, I didn't expect to hear that from you. No, but I'm willing to give us a chance at date, said Rainbow. It sounds like a good idea. We can go out on New Year's Eve. That sounds like a good idea. I know my parents' gentle breeze and posy shy will be happy to hear I have found a girl. I think so. Though my parents, Bellhood, Hot Hoof, and Windy Whistle will be complete surprised, but they will want to meet you. Though I know your friend Scootaloo will be overjoyed with you. I know she will. Rainbow laughs about it, and she knows that Scootaloo will be happy for her sake. She sees Scootaloo as a little sister. At 11 p.m., everyone chose to go to bed. Sapphira slept on the couch while they were watching He Didn't Mind, and it didn't take long for everyone to fall asleep. The next morning, the power had returned and everyone was eating breakfast. They sat to talk about the night before, and everyone agrees that this Christmas Eve, the Christmas Day, that they would always remember for a long time to come. After breakfast, the girls sat in the living room watching some TV. After lunch, they took a walk to enjoy the nice weather. A little later, at 1 p.m., it was time for the girls to go home to their families to spend the day with them. Twilight got left home from Applejack, and Sunset drove Pinky and Fluttershy home. Everyone was so happy to spend a Christmas day together. Even Rainbow was happy that she gave Sapphire Breeze a chance to date her. The girls agreed that this Christmas day they will always remember it. The end.